Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to today's video. In today's video, I want to talk about the time that I completely destroyed a laptop worth over $1,000. So this takes place back in last year, 2025, around I guess April, and I got this laptop on 2024. It was a gift. I say gift or maybe donation. I don't know what word to use, but let's say gift, right? Present from a government agency because I was in a government program, and I'm still am. Um, so basically, everybody who was on that program or who still is got the laptop during that year, 2024, and so it came with a warranty and it came in with a backpack. It was a 15.6 inch backpack, and obviously the laptop as well, so it could fit inside. And the processor was like Intel Core i5 or i7, I don't remember. Graphics card was like Intel, I think it was UHD or something like that, or UHC 680. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember the number being 680. Anyways, it wasn't like a gaming laptop or anything like that. It was more like a I don't know if it's notebook the word, but it was just a work laptop, just a regular one. I guess the reason why it was also kind of expensive was because it was touchscreen, and the touchscreen wasn't like OLED. It wasn't slick. It felt like a monitor's screen, but it had the way of being touchscreen. Like, it didn't look slick. It just looked kind of like dim. Dim is not the word, but it looked like pastel, right? Like, you know how pastel colors look? It looked like that. It didn't look shiny. It just looked like a regular ass screen from an old ass monitor, but it was touchscreen. So, anyways, I had this laptop, and right after like maybe a week or maybe 5 days after like the warranty expired, that's when it broke down. And I used to leave this laptop on sleep mode and leave some things open, like some tabs and some applications, maybe one or two applications, and maybe tabs 5 or 3, because I didn't want to like research or rewrite the same thing for the same programs and documents that I had found. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it like that, so next time I literally open it back up or start it up, I would just pick up where I left. That way I don't have to like search again and find and do the same exact thing and whatnot. So I did leave it like that for a couple of maybe 3 or 4 months. I had no problems. Sometimes I heard the fan working a little hard, but quickly after like, I guess maybe 1 minute, it just came back down, and I was like, okay. Temperatures were okay, but at the last month they were not. And I noticed this because I literally put my hands up on the keyboard, and that's when I felt like it was really hot. So I was like, oh shit. So I put the laptop on restart, so it restarted everything, and I opened up again the files that I had because I had to take a class at that moment. And so I went up and fired up the Firefox, Gmail, and Google Meets, and then I think I opened up a PDF file or a PowerPoint or a Word document, or maybe two of those things. And I had FL Studio, but after restarting it, I didn't start again or open up FL Studio. So I had those things running in there, and I looked at the RAM usage, and it was around like I think 60 to 70, and I was like, okay, it's not that bad. CPU was going up maybe up 10 or 15%, and the fan started again, like rising up like a jet. And so I was like, I don't know about that. I see kind of like the percentage is not that high, and I don't feel the laptop that hot. So I'm like, okay. After some time, it cooled down. The noises stopped, the fan stopped, over like working, and so I was like in class in Google Meets, and out of nowhere, it's just completely shut off. Like, the power source from it, I don't know from what piece exactly, but it got shut off. It was like zoom, like when there's like power shut off from like your house, and you're like, you have your lights on, you have like the stove on, you have the fridge, and then you hear like zoom, and everything just shuts off. That's exactly what happened to my laptop. So I was like, okay, I searched up online, and it said like it could be maybe the CMOS battery that needs replacement, or maybe unplugging and replugging again to see if it's like maybe a malfunction or something that got disconnected or anything. I was like, you know what? It never hurts to try these things because they're really easy. So I went in and got my tools for electronics, which are really small screws and whatnot. So I was unscrewing the back of the laptop, or in this case the bottom part, because that's where the screws are. And so everything was going really nice and smoothly. And so one problem occurred, and that problem, right, because obviously the internal problem happened, a piece blew up, it got overheated. So when I was unscrewing it, another problem came up, which was one of the screws was not hold properly by the end. So let's say you know how a screw, you got two sides. You got the place where that you basically put the screw. You know, in basic terms, it's called the female part. And the male part, which is the one that you basically put the screwdriver on top and you screw it in or screw it out, that part was basically fine. However, the bottom part, which is the female part, that is supposed to be held by something like, I don't know if it's glue or something else that holds it in tightly, so when you try to screw it in or screw it out, it doesn't move alongside the screw, right? So in this case, I don't know what happened, but the emo part, which is the end, was not placed properly. And so whenever I tried to unscrew it or screw it, it was just moved with the whole piece, and I couldn't even tighten it or loosen it up. So when I was moving it, it was moving like it was loosed up. So I thought to myself like, oh, maybe it's stuck with something. Let me try to force it open. Maybe, you know, because I didn't know at the time, like, that it was not, that was like that. I thought it was stuck, or maybe I needed a little bit more, you know, use a little bit more force. So I used a little bit more force, and I broke it. I broke the cover, and hopefully nothing inside broke, like components like chips or anything like that I saw. Nothing looked broken. However, one thing was bent over, which was like this aluminum thing. It looked like tinfoil aluminum or something like that, like stainless steel. I don't know. It was a piece that basically it's held in place. Um from the inside, not from the back cover. And I was like, I don't know if this is good or bad, but I know for a fact I fucked up. So I looked, and I'm like, oh, that's why the piece doesn't move, because it was not placed properly on something that was holding it. So it was just like nothing was holding it, so every time I moved it, it moved with the whole like screw. It wasn't unscrewing or screwing it. So I'm like, fuck. So I went in and I tried to see the CMOS battery. The CMOS battery was not like the older models that have, like, you know, the battery that it basically looks like a dime, right? Like a dime, 5 coin, whatever you like to call it, but it's dime. So I think it's dime, right? 5, not so sure. But anyways, it's the size of that, and so I was like, oh, this one is different model. This one is covered in some black element. I don't know if it's like, it looked like black tape, but it's not black tape. It's placed there so it picks up the, I guess, I don't know if it's the lithium or whatever the hell it's inside the components, the electronic component, and it basically passes it through a 2 cable, I think it was, like red and blue, to a little plug. The plug is like small, like a piece of rice, like a single piece of rice, and you put it in something else. That's one of the ways. The older model ways was basically having like the CMOS battery, and you basically can get it out and get it in, and it's just popped in and popped out. And I was expecting that, but this model was newer, and I was like, oh, okay. So I unplugged it and plugged it, and nothing happened. And I tried to like plug it in through the batteries outlet for the laptop to see if there was any connection or electricity going on, nothing. So I went in and I disconnected the monitor to see if I could just be like, okay, maybe I can disconnect the monitor and maybe I can plug in this monitor and use the other parts that are here for something else. Obviously, I don't have something that connects the monitor to something else and makes it look like, you know, anything like a fucking monitor, because I don't have the pieces, right? You need external pieces and other components and maybe some soldering and whatnot, you know. But I didn't have anything of that. So I unplugged it, obviously, from the laptop, and I connected the cable to see if it charged, and it did charge. However, it did not turn up. I tried to use an external monitor through a HDMI cable, nothing. I couldn't receive any power. It also didn't power up. So I unplugged it and I reconnected the monitor, plugged it up again for the battery to see if it charged. And in this case, it didn't. So there's, I think, some various components there that are kind of like missing and kind of like overheated, because they overheated obviously and blew up and got damaged. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, my piece of advice: don't do what I did. You know, in this case, if you have something that's kind of stuck and you're not so sure, call an expert or call a neighbor that knows this type of stuff. If you don't got nobody, then just take it to a auto repair shop. Not auto repair, PC repair. I just said auto. PC repair shop or anything like that. That maybe they can help you. But yeah, that's the story of how I completely destroyed a $1,000 laptop. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. I'm kind of stuttering. Take care. Bye bye. Love you all.